Hey everybody, and welcome to Q&A Wednesday, where I answer the questions that you have about your health and fitness goals. Now we're kind of starting to come out of the quarantine situation. At least I hope you are, because we're not. We're still phase one where I live, which I'm not like a super fan of at this point. Although it seems like people are finally kind of getting back to, I don't even know if you want to call it normal, but whatever. But we're going to talk about the fact that some of us have put on a little weight, and whether or not it's a good idea to try and lose that fast. And for any of you who've listened to anything else that I have talked about, you're already going to know what I say. It's really not that different than when you are trying to actually gain a healthier lifestyle or lose some weight. You all know I don't like that term, right? Because lose weight means from anything. Like you could lose that from muscle, which some of you may have done, unfortunately, with gyms being closed. But of course, I don't know about you, but I just want to lose fat. I want to burn fat. I don't want to necessarily burn off the muscle because muscle is metabolically active. So let's talk about what is appropriate for quick and just some quick tips in order to get yourself in the right mindset for that, because I don't know that anything's going to ever be quite the same as before. Hopefully you appreciate your choices more and your options when it comes to being able to go to the gym once those open up, because honestly, yeah, you start to miss and you start to realize how good we really did have it. So let's talk about how fast is appropriate. Now, what have we been in lockdown? Like anywhere from, it depends on where you live, of course, but I'm going to say minimally, most of us have been locked down at least 12 weeks, some of us closer to 16 or so. Hi, Kathy. So again, we've been there a while, right? And so unfortunately, there's a couple of things that have come into the formula and why we've gained 15 pounds during this quarantine. And honestly, I've talked about how it's just another obstacle. Some people have really been able to do okay. I haven't progressed, but I've maintained, because honestly, that's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But for some people, the combination of being home, whether it's working from home or whether it's being stuck at home, right? Like you're not even working. And of course, also a combination of just really, I don't know, quarantine snacks, call it whatever you want, but just having junk at home has been a problem. And so a lot of people are drinking alcohol, eating junk, because of course processed food has a longer shelf life, which again, not the best reason, but I kind of get where you're going with, well, it'll last longer on my shelf just in case we can't go to the store again. However you look at it, those are problems. So my first question to you is, are you going to be able to get around the obstacles you already had, which is, are you going to be able to go to the store and get healthier food? Now, I'm going to tell you that when it comes to the cleaner, healthier foods, my family has had zero problems getting what we need. We have not had a problem running out of, toilet paper in the beginning, but anything else other than that, we have not had a problem finding when it comes to fresh produce, fruits and vegetables, pretty much everything that's been on our list, we've been able to find, if not at one store, another store. So really that has not been a problem. Again, I don't know where you live. I don't know if you've had some issues with that, but we have had no problem. Yes, I did, Sean, say alcohol. Because again, just blows my mind that liquor stores were considered essential when drinking is not a healthy alternative. And while doing it once in a while, not a big deal. But for the amount of alcohol bottles I have seen in garbages and recycle bins, I'm going to say it contributed to the problem. So really, what got you into that gaining 15 pounds in the first place? Are you going to be able to negotiate your way back without having those same obstacles? Are you going to purchase healthier food and start eating better? Because honestly, that's really what it's going to take. Whether or not you have a gym option, although I know that's what everybody's waiting for, I'm fascinated. You can control your size, what size clothing you wear, by what you put in your face, but everybody's waiting for the gyms to open up in order. So again, whether that's an excuse, I don't know, but it's up to you, because if you want to do something about it, you could have done it 6, 7, 8, 10 weeks ago. But I get it, so I'm going to tell you what you need to do with that. You got to cut out the garbage. You're going to have to cut out the alcohol. You're going to have to cut out the processed food. You're going to have to cut out sugar, enriched flour, bleached flour, so all the homemade fun things that you guys have been making, although obviously the homemade version's better than buying store-bought junk, you're not going to get where you want to go if you're eating a bunch of baked goods, because again, now we're spiking blood sugar, which means gain weight. So you're going to have to cut all those out. You got to cut out the vegetable oils, the canola oil, same issues. We've been told that those are healthy options, but unfortunately, where they're processed due to chemicals, they are not a healthy alternative to what you're supposed to be using. You're going to want to stick with the extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, macadamia oil, coconut oil. Those are just better things for you. So, one, fix your food, guys, because that's the reason you gained the weight. That and sitting on your hiney and watching 1,000 hours of Netflix. I get it. Like, I've watched more TV than I've wanted, than I have in a very, very long time. However, still less than most people. I haven't binge watched anything. And I literally got outside as much as I possibly could. So now that the weather's better, you're going to want to get outside and start to work some of that back off. Now, I will tell you, you cannot out-exercise a bad diet. So if you don't fix the food, doesn't matter how much exercise you do, you are not going to be able to undo what you've done to your body. So keep that in mind. You're better off to put a little bit of energy into getting some exercise, focus on eating better, fix your head, which is my next topic, make sure you're getting enough sleep. Now, most of you have probably gotten more sleep than you even need. That one's still a struggle for me, but it's the combination of all those things that are going to give you the best ability to work that 15 pounds back off or more. I've seen people have said more. Candy said she was finally able to get Adam's crunchy peanut butter. Where? Because I've seen a little bit of options on the Adams. We do Adams at my house because it's no added sugars. We do the Adams all natural, but we've had issues. Everybody in my family purchases a different option. So my daughter likes the organic. We can't find that anywhere. It's really interesting to see what is out of stock in our area versus other areas around the world. So I don't know. It's weird. So number one tip, fix the reason why you got the 15 pounds. Fix the reason why you got there. So if that's because you're bringing junk home and eating a bunch of garbage, and garbage is anything that's processed, guys. I don't care how healthy, organic, blah, blah, blah it says on that product. It's still junk. If it's a processed food, it's still junk food. It's still garbage. It's still processed. And it's not going to benefit you in any way. It is not a healthy option no matter what it tries to convince you of. Oh, Candy said she got it at Walmart. Yeah, I haven't seen them. I've seen mine, which is the creamy. I just haven't seen anything else. So you're going to have to fix the reason why you got to where you were. You have to clean it up. You've got to get rid of the junk, the fast food. Now, while I think it's important that we've been supporting local businesses, especially in the restaurants and things like that, you can't be doing that every night. You just can't. Be mad at me. Don't care. I eat out maybe once a month. Maybe. Just because I prefer to control what I eat, and I don't always know what they're doing to my food, even if I ask. So I don't eat out very often, and when I do, I really do try to support local business, not fast food. It's really difficult to make good choices at fast food restaurants, guys. Like, it just is. You can make some better choices, but it's very, very difficult to make good choices at fast food restaurants. So keep that in mind. The next thing that you're going to have to do, guys, is get your head right. Because I'm going to tell you from experience and from working with a lot of different clients that the physical part is the easy part. It is the mental and emotional that is the most difficult, because you can have the best intentions, but when stress comes your way, or there's just so much more to that. A lot of what I've been posting on Instagram just in the last couple of weeks has been so much about keeping your head straight, keeping it right, doing something, because the mental and emotional part is just as important or more than the physical part, because that is what's keeping you from doing all those things. Plus, with all the stress of what's going on around the world, some of us don't handle that very well. And so if you're like me and you tend to want to eat when you're stressed out, or bored, which I know a few of you have had that issue, sitting on your butts, that's going to be a difficult one. I've literally had to turn off social media. I get on, I post, I get off. I'm staying very, very positive with my messages because I don't have any desire to contribute to the negativity and the hate that's going on. Yeah, united we stand, divided we fall. I'm finding that that's going to be a problem, guys. Something to think about. But Amber says that's where she needs the guidance. We're working on it. We're doing good. Amber. So keep in mind that you've got to fix your head. Whatever reason it is that you have been struggling, I'm going to tell you, I hear that problem most often is people eat their feelings. They eat because they're stressed. So you've got to figure out, and there's two downsides to that. Number one, you're eating things you probably shouldn't have. But number two, you're also, when you're stressed like that, you're producing cortisol, which means your body cannot burn fat. It's actually going to store everything that you eat. So you kind of a double whammy going on there. So hopefully you understand that it's going to take you a minute. It's going to take you a minute. Anybody who's ever had to lose any sort of, 15, 20 pounds, usually they pretty quickly realize it's going to take probably a couple of months minimum. And that's if you're consistent and doing things very, very well. And unfortunately, like I said, who knows what's going to happen? We may all have the gyms open and then it might come to a complete standstill. Like, I have my theories of what's going to happen, but just be prepared for whatever's going to happen. But focus on what you can do consistently. Focus on what you have control over, and do that. Do what you can do when you can do it. That's what you have to do. So how quickly can you use it? Can you lose it? It really depends. It's not even just commitment, because it really depends on what's going to happen in the next 12 to 16 weeks. But I would say do the best you can. Just don't be super, there's no perfection. There's no perfection in this. Give yourself somewhat of a break. Don't beat yourself up if you did put on the 15. Just get back to living a healthier lifestyle. It's about having better coping skills. It's what you do over the time period. It's not killing it for a week or two and then going back to the same garbage you were doing before. You have to figure out long-term how to live the lifestyle, and that's really what it's about. And anybody who's yo-yo dieted knows exactly what I'm talking about. You do really, really good and you do 100%, and then something happens and you just throw out the window and have that F it moment and you binge whatever you've got in the house. So don't bring it home. That's part of it. So have an incredible night, you guys. Hang in there. Yeah, it's difficult. Yes, the situation is nothing that most of us have ever seen in our lifetime, but we have the ability and we've got social media. We have the ways to communicate with each other that we would not have had if this would have happened 20 years ago. So be grateful that we are able to support each other, and it's okay to reach up, reach for help. So have a great night. There will be Meals with Melissa this Saturday. I'm not going anywhere, finally. We're going to talk about foods to take camping that are healthier options. So hope to see you there. Have a good night.